It's game on, and finally, the hockey war is over and it's back to the ice. Minnesota's winter pastime is alive. We're breaking it down. Our fists are up, one of the biggest boxing matches in recent history set to take place in just days. It's Tony time. Hockey's not the only game at the X. The Recharge Swarm are all abuzz. We'll meet the team's top scorer. These are books that tell it all in Minnesota sports. The author will weigh in on the hockey unrest and our update with our fantasy football playoff challenge. It's time to get your game on. Greetings again from the Dakotas to the heart of the Twin Cities. You found Game On right across the street from the home of the Minnesota Wild at the X, the Liffey Irish Pub. And a happy New Year to you. Great to have you with us again. Rod Simons here on Game On, and we are loaded. Glad that they're dropping the puck and hockey is back. We're going to be talking boxing, lacrosse, the other sport that owns the X this time of year, as well as a number of different items. We got an author in the house as well. So since we're loaded up, let's get after it. We always start Game On by the numbers. When we look at the numbers, after 113 days, the NHL playing again. By Monday, the NFL will be down to its final four. The Vikings are prepping for the April draft. The Wolves with a furious week of 4 contenders in sight. And the Twin Spring training date, 31 days away. And you might be saying, it's about time. You're not alone. A lot of Minnesota hockey fans have been amped up for this Wild team to be on the ice months ago. Now the lockout is over and they're ready to drop the puck. Nowhere in the NHL did the lockout hit harder than in Minnesota. To many, this is the hockey capital of the world, and Minnesota was stung after signing this dynamic duo shortly after July 4th.
On behalf of our organization and fan base, I want to officially welcome Zach Parise and Ryan Suter to the Minnesota Wild and the state of hockey.
Now, after 4 months, hockey's back.
Don Fear and I are here to tell you that we have reached an agreement on the framework of a new collective bargaining agreement.
Players and owners will split revenues at new percentages, lower for players though. A 48-game season will allow for the playoffs. There will be no Winter Classic, no All-Star Game, no Eastern Conference teams will come to town to play at the X. But at the end of the day, hockey is back. And we start with Jay Johnson, the general manager here at the Liffey. We're all fans. He's a big hockey fan too. This has got to be better late than never, but great news.
It's fantastic news. It's thrilling, one, because I'm a hockey fan.
Yeah.
And so in that sense, I'm extremely excited about the Wild and their opportunity this year, obviously with the signings.
And the business aspect, it's time.
It's time. It's overdue.
Yeah.
But we're thankful that they got this done, and again, we're excited. And really, I'm thrilled more for my staff and my team, because it's been a long struggle here the past few months, waiting for this to happen. Really, it's my staff that has suffered more than anything else. You know, so hockey's great, but I'm glad to get some people back to work.
And Jay was real quick to point out, it's not just the Liffey, it's everybody down here by the X, everyone downtown. We have a 10-year deal. We won't have to worry about this for a while.
Not for a while.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having us here. We're going to talk to the chef in a couple minutes. Lots of hockey talk. Let's get after Game On.
Thank you.
Only here. On deck, we're talking great food and hockey royalty. Only here on Game On.
You gotta hold okay. You gotta
Shooter out high, loads up, fire scores! Got a hold on my sleeve, I can't leave. They murdered the original me and I can't grieve. So this is who I'm thinking. One's gonna catch him right in, shoots and scores with the corkscrew shot. Whatever they worth, get my mama crib in the burbs and know fit in the mean and all of the in between. Shoots and scores! The Swarm winning in overtime!
gotta hold me. Gotta hold me.
I'm Randall McDaniel. As a former Minnesota Viking and a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I know how important it is to fuel up to be successful on and off the field. Now, I work with third graders, and I see firsthand the positive impact exercise and good nutrition has on my students. As a partner with the Taste of the NFL and the NFL's Play 60 program, I'm proud to do my part to make sure kids get the nutrition they need. Please help us kick hunger in America and encourage an active lifestyle by supporting the Taste of the NFL and the NFL's Play 60 program.
The Timberwolves Meal Deal, presented by Papa John's, is a great way to save money and watch Kevin Love, Brandon Roy, and Andre Kirilenko bring a playoff atmosphere back to Target Center. For just $25, you get an upper-level ticket, a hot dog, chips, small Pepsi, and a coupon for a free large Papa John's pizza. Tickets are only available for purchase in advance of game day. To purchase your meal deal tickets, go to timberwolves.com/meal deal. The Minnesota Timberwolves. Wolves United.
Meat Sauce here from KFAN. My weekly trivia question, courtesy of Bar Abilene, is, since moving to Minnesota from Washington, D.C., have the Twins won more games than they have lost? We'll get to the answer at the end of Game On.
Welcome back to Game On, powered by the Liffey. Great to have you with us. We are in St. Paul, stone's throw from the X and hockey greatness. I am really nervous sitting by these guys. JP Parise, this
relax, for
and Tom Reed.
Relax.
Well, I was telling you guys,
I'm nervous too.
Legends. This is good stuff. And you know, we're talking as the lockout ends and hockey is back within days at the X. And knowing that you have a son that's playing for the Wild, you have to be just chomping at the bit to have it back.
Well, I'm very, very excited. Of course, you know, he's been here for so long now, for 5 months, is that 6 months?
Yeah.
And he's just been dying. I texted him this morning, and he answered back, said, boy, am I pumped up.
Yeah.
So we're excited. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Craziest thing in the world, that labor situations between owners, it's a lot different than your guys' game was, I would imagine. But,
you think so?
Oh my gosh. But, and you being a business owner here, I mean, you've got and a broadcaster as well. You got a stake in this thing all the way around.
Yeah, this has been difficult. You know, what's happened has happened in the past. We can't look back, but what we can do is look forward. And especially the changes, rather, they made with this year with Zach Parise and Ryan Suter. I mean, you look at Dowell coming in, you look at the different players, or Kanapa coming in. This is going to be a much, much better team. And what I like about this is the fact that you're going to have a lot of, you know, competition within your own team just to make the club this year. So this is going to be, I think, the best team that we've ever seen here in Minnesota.
I asked Zach when they made the announcement shortly after Independence Day. I said, what do you guys think? Stanley Cup? And their answer was, we didn't come here for anything less. They have set the bar very high because they know they can get it done.
Well, the way he was talking, of course, you know, he had to look at the whole picture and what the Wild have in their system and whatever, the growth of the young players and the immediate success. There's going to be some immediacy, you certainly hope so.
Yes.
But he was looking at the big picture. He was looking at years to come. And at establishing himself here, probably having family. He just got married last summer, but you're looking at 13 years down the line. So what's going to happen? So that's why he made the commitment to come here. He doesn't. He's not much of a loser, and so if he made the commitment to come here, it was because he felt that the team could win.
There's a great energy now in just the days since the announcement. You can tell people are perking up.
Well, I certainly can. Even yesterday, after the announcement was made in my pub down the street here, it was we probably had 3 dozen people stopped in just because they wanted to say, "Hey, welcome back. We're so happy the hockey's coming back." And like JP said, these guys, you know, they're coming here. They're very competitive. They don't like to lose, and that's the reason you make the NHL. Your goal is the ultimate goal, which is a Stanley Cup, and how you get there obviously depends on how your teammates are going to respond to things and how healthy you're going to be going into it. Because this is going to be a marathon to the end. If they do a 48-game schedule we expect to happen, every game is so important right now, and so you can't afford to lose it.
I was talking to the NBA players after last year's lockout shortened season, and the one thing, you can't get injured and you really have to take care of your health. It's going to take its toll.
Well, it is. I mean, it's going to be very difficult. You've got about 48 games in less than 100 days, I believe it's going to be. So there's going to be a lot of back-to-back games. And for these players, I don't think people realize how difficult it is. When you play a game, you're on the aircraft, you're off to the next city, you play a game that night, you're off to the next city, and you have a night. You have practice sessions, you got the little injuries you have to deal with all the time. So hopefully that will be the case. I know these guys have worked very, very hard for a long, long time here now to be ready for this day.
Well, we're delighted to have you guys with us. Proud Papa, great to finally have you on Game On.
My pleasure.
Great
Believe me.
stuff. And Happy New Year, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you here. North Star Greatness sitting right with us on Game On. You can get your Game On anytime. Download our new app for iPhones and Android too. Full shows, sponsor links, great inside information, tons of photos. We also link you to our show website. It's packed with good stuff. And then check out our partner site, purplepride.org. It's all there at GameOnTVMN.com. Time for our 60-second chef. This is Christine, or may I call you Tina?
You can call me Tina.
All your friends call you Tina.
That's
This
right.
Flynn is here, the sous chef from the Liffey. And I see all the food. This is just a sampling of your lovely menu. And the one thing I notice is it's all healthy.
It is. We have a lot of offerings, you know, that aren't just your typical bar food. It's,
Calamari.
Yes.
The thing that strikes me is it's so light.
It is. It is. We get the steaks in. We slice them very thin. Just batter them very lightly.
And I don't
fry
need the
them.
sauce.
No. We toss them with grilled lemons and cherry peppers, so you get the essences. You don't even need the sauce.
That's some of the best I've ever had. And I
thank you.
Calamari.
Happy to hear it.
We look at this, and it's a very healthy plate that's very popular.
We do an assortment of local and imported cheeses on there, and the nice thing about this is, you know, you can have the snacks without the guilt. You know, we offer this until we close the kitchen at night.
And you said some people come in after a hockey game not wanting a hamburger, and they'll order this.
Yep, you can order this. You know, you don't have the guilt that comes with eating at 11 o'clock at night. So,
if I'm a hockey fan, I have a limited amount of time to get to the face-off. You can take care of business.
Oh, absolutely. We can have you in and out in a half hour.
And if you want, you also have a $10 all-day, everyday wine program on selected bottles.
We do.
It would be the perfect match.
Absolutely. Order a cheese plate, $10 bottle of wine. You're out of here, $20 or less.
So the chef, which one of these does the chef like the best?
Oh, which one? Oh, well, when I'm feeling guilty, it's one of these. But this is, you know, going with New Year's resolution, the cheese plate would have to be.
Oh, that's great. Tina, I'll be ordering all these next time.
All right, excellent.
You're the best. Happy New
Year. All right, thank you. Happy New Year to you.
Chef Tina, sous chef indeed, only here on Game On. On deck, it's Tony time, only here on Game On.
It starts your morning with the forecast, then watches your energy use all day. It can change your temperature from anywhere in the world, prevent you from heating and cooling an empty house, and still give you a comfortable welcome home. The iComfort Wi-Fi from Lennox.
The most advanced comfort control solution available anywhere is now available for your home.
So call Liberty Comfort Systems and make your home a smart home today.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
He is the pride of the east side of St. Paul, Matt, the Predator, Banda.
It will be my last fight, and I hope I go out with a knockout victory.
Golden, Caleb True.
He's been saying he's going to knock everybody out for the last 5 years, and I think he's got about one knockout in the last 5 years. He's definitely not going to knock me out, and if anything, I'm going to knock him out.
Time again, Tony time. Good to have Tony G back in the house. This is Charles Meyer. He's on the, we talked about Caleb Truax and Matt Vanda last week. You're the co-main event.
Yes, sir.
Fighting Travis Brzezinski.
Yes, sir.
6-2-2 is your record. And you are the guy that I call kind of the switch fighter. You've got the big fists, but he's a dad. 3 kids.
3 kids, yep. Yes,
You're
sir.
a softie, too.
Don't tell anybody I'm a softie. You know,
you didn't hear that.
You know, I got 3 kids. I got a boy and 2 daughters. You know, the girls are dancing. You know, the girls make you soft.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, but my daughters are in competitive dance. You know, so that's something I have to deal with.
You're a proud papa.
I'm a very proud papa.
And we were talking earlier about flipping the switch. I said, how can a softie, not too soft, but a softie, be in the ring? You say, there's a switch.
There is a switch. You know, when you're with your girls, you have to be a dad and,
Yeah.
and show them the things you need to show. But when it comes to getting in the ring, it's a completely different thing. That switch has got to go on. It's the minute that bell rings, it's time for me to destroy you.
It's business.
Period.
Yeah.
Nothing else to it.
Tony's been working to make sure that this is one of those great fight cards. And we know about Vanda and Truex, but you've worked hard all the way around to make this a really nice night.
Well, yeah, January 19th, it's so important to anchor a good card, with great fights. It's great for the fans. It's great for, the participants in the
Right.
fight. And I couldn't think of a better fight to anchor it than putting on Charles Meyer versus Travis Brzezinski.
These guys going to beat each other up?
It's going to be a hell of a fight. It's
Really?
gonna be a hell of a fight.
And what do the two guys bring to this card?
We don't Travis is a real scrappy, sharp kid. Comes to bring in every single fight.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Anthony Bonsante ran after this on this tag of being the #1 daddy. But I gotta say, this guy's the #1 daddy because I haven't seen anybody more prouder. And what this guy brings is so much passion, so much heart, so much desire to the ring.
Quick, too, I've heard.
Quick, great fight. So you're talking when you put two talents like that together, it's going to be a clash.
Very, very nice. What do you obviously expect to win?
Yes, sir.
But have you seen what Travis has done? And
I have seen. I've seen a couple of his fights already. I know that he's strong. He's big, he's strong, and he just keeps coming forward. I got a lot of respect for him, for how hard he works. So I'm just gonna have to, get on my wheels, box him, and show him who's gonna be the boss that day.
Who's going to be the boss that day? People want more information, tickets to the fight. It's coming up quickly. Where do they go?
Yep, yeah, go to oldfights.com for tickets and information, and make sure you tune in and catch these guys' fights. They got John Schmidt, who's everybody's people's champion in boxing. You got Michael Falk, who's a great fighter. Tony Lee, a great fighter. Jeremy McLaurin, a great fighter, and we have another great fight with Ken Glenn and Damian Hill. So it's gonna be a great night of fights.
Great card indeed. 19th, get #7.
Yes, sir.
Nicely done. Keep being a good dad.
Appreciate it.
We love
Appreciate
that
it.
very much.
I will.
Tony G, you're the man. Tony time on GameON. We'd love for you to keep up with the Wolves and the NBA with my weekly blog. It's Simon Says at Timberwolves.com. All the inside information on the team. It's interactive, so you can give me your thoughts at rod@GameOnTVMN.com. And look for a new Simon Says blog every Thursday, only at Timberwolves.com. Hockey's not the only thing making the X a buzz. We're talking Swarm next on GameOn.
Hi, I'm Christian Ponder with the Minnesota Vikings. I know how important it is to fuel up so that I can be successful on and off the field. As a partner with the Taste of the NFL and the NFL's Play 60 programs, I am proud to encourage all of my fellow NFL players to do our part to make sure kids get the nutrition they need to learn and play at their best. Go to tasteofthenfl.com and NFL.com to find out how you can help. Welcome to the team.
And over here in St. Paul, you could be more excited to have hockey back, but also lacrosse at the same time. This is great stuff. Andrew Suter is in the house. How are you, Transition Player of the Year?
Good, just chomping at the bit to get back going at the X here.
Isn't it crazy how everything kind of comes together? Because I know you guys have been paying attention to what's going on with the National Hockey League. You guys are all playing at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, we feed off the Wild. We use our advertisement there too to try to bring fans into our games. And Canadian, I'm an avid hockey fan myself, so I'm happy to see them back on.
It's basically hockey without skates, in my opinion. It's so rough. It's great stuff. When we look at the Swarm season that was, you lose 5 players from a tremendous year. But you've said to me before, we could have done better last year. You guys have high expectations this season.
Yeah, we weren't happy with 9-6 in the regular season, and we weren't happy losing the division finals. The only time our team's going to be happy is if we're 16-0 in the regular season and 3-0 in playoffs, and we win the Champions Cup here.
How doable?
Realistically, to go undefeated all year, it's probably not within our range, but I mean, it's only a 9-team league, so every game's competitive, but we're shooting for first place in the West. That's our goal to start, and then we're definitely hosting that Champions Cup game here this year.
You guys have locked and reloaded. You lose only 5 players. You have 4 #1 draft picks, and you bring back a stable of studs to the team.
Yeah, everyone's happy to be back. we got to build off last year, but I think when fans come out and they see what these 4 first-round draft picks are all about, some people's jaws might drop.
You know a couple of them.
I know. I lived with one of them, and I've played against all of them my whole life, so I have a couple of bets to bury with a couple of them, but other than that, it should be good.
Yeah, but they're on your team, so it's all good.
Yeah, I guess you got to waive them, right?
Oh, that's very good. Well, we're expecting gigantic things. We're excited to have the Swarm back. Have a great season.
Thank you.
We're excited.
Thanks a lot.
Andrew Suter in the house, only here on GameON. Time to break out the Kazi calendar. Kazi's the next big name in sports. Super Bowl on February 3rd. The Wolves get the rejuvenated LA Clippers. Gopher football will play UNLV in late August. And Michigan visits the Barn on the 17th. There's North Dakota and Eastern Washington. North Dakota State on the 31st. South Dakota State welcomes North Dakota State on the 28th. And South Dakota at Oakland. Minnesota men get North Dakota, St. Cloud State and Denver, UND and St. Cloud State, and there's North Dakota State on the 18th and 19th. Be the last time we see canceled games. The Wild would have played Anaheim on the 15th. The Swarm get Washington, and Twins Fest at the Metrodome. The PGA will be in La Quinta, the Champions in Hawaii, NASCAR in February, and the Wheels of Thunder in Iowa on the 18th. Love for you to check out our GameON podcast with Rod Webby and the A-Train. All the inside information. And you can talk to us at GameOnTVMN.com. And remember, Kazi is the next big name in sports. Affordable equipment and apparel for your athlete at your fingertips. It's Kazi. And very excited to have this guy back. Ross Bernstein in the house.
Good to see you, Rod.
50-some books, and I've got a bunch of them here, from Raising Stanley and Lombardi to the Sea. And you're all over the place. Great reads. I love it. Tell us what your new one is and how appropriate timing-wise.
Well, Wearing the Sea is all about leadership. And I interviewed over 150 NHL captains, including JP Parise.
We just talked to, yeah.
And his son, Zach. And here's a Cliff Clavin tidbit that a lot of people may not know. They're the only father-son duo in NHL history to both wear the C.
Wow.
Pretty amazing, I thought. Gordie Howe, Bobby Hull, no. They different times in the WHA, not the NHL. So pretty cool, but you know, there's a yin and a yang to Wearing the Sea. I mean, Zach comes in, clearly he's the captain of a team that just went to the Stanley Cup Finals. You think he'd wear the C, but part of the DNA of captains, they're so humble. He didn't want to rock the boat. Mikko Koivu wears the C. He said, I'm fine wearing the A.
A little bit of royalty here, too.
Yeah. So it's very cool. And that was just fun to talk to all these guys. And hey, I'm just thrilled the hockey's back.
Oh, I am too. And you and I both share that feeling. Do you think that so much has gone by in terms of under the bridge between the owners and players that most fans are kind of distant still?
I think that fans are going to be excited. Hockey fans are the most loyal fans, I believe,
Okay.
and even though they're upset, they should be happy that it's done and that there's cost certainty. I mean, baseball, there's no cap. The Yankees can just buy another championship. Who cares? We have a floor, we have a ceiling. Ultimately, this is good for hockey that they went through this and they took their lumps, and now we're going to have a better product on the ice, because ultimately, at the end of the day, teams have to live within a budget, and then it comes down to coaching and the intangibles, the quality of life, players choosing to live in Minnesota because they want to be here, and you know, things are looking good. The Wild's going to be great this year.
And when we talk about that hockey team, how good are they going to be? Because on paper, to me, they look like deep playoff contenders.
They need to be, but it's cliche, but every game's going to have a playoff-like must-win feel with this 48-game schedule. But I think they're going to be very good, and the expectations are high. And if they don't go deep in the playoffs, then people are going to start questioning why they're doing what they're doing. So hopefully they can just get hot at the right time and good goaltending, and I'm just happy they're back.
We're going to be able to find this at the X when you're at games?
I'll be at the Hockey Live signing books all the time. You're there having fun. I'm there working.
I love that. Ross Bernstein, BernsteinBooks.com if you want more information. Always love having you here on GameON.
Great to see you. Love the show.
Only here. How you doing in the Fantasy Football Challenge? The Guru tells us next on GameON.
Pick up the latest issue of Wheels of Thunder magazine. If it's on wheels, you'll find it in Wheels of Thunder. Full color photos of bikes, trikes, cars, trucks, and even sleds. High performance or right off the street. Mind-blowing power, speed, and custom touches. It's all in Wheels of Thunder magazine. Plus, find out about the latest races, rallies, and custom products and services in your area. Check out Wheels of Thunder on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Wheels of Thunder.
It's meat sauce if you've forgotten, but you can't forget this face. Here's the trivia answer. The question was, since moving to Minnesota from Washington, D.C., have the Twins won more games than they have lost? The answer is no. They've won 4,138 games, and they've lost 4,147 from 1961 through 2012, with 2 World Series and 11 playoff appearances. See you Tuesday night at Bar Abilene, 8 to 10 for trivia, and next week on Game On. Rod?
Sauce, thank you very much, and I love you on KFan as well. Time now for our Game On update. January is the month for the Kick Hunger Challenge. The NFL has partnered with Minnesota-based Taste of the NFL to fight hunger and spearhead the Kick Hunger Challenge. The goal, to keep school kids fed. All 32 NFL teams are taking part. This is an all-out fight, and one in which we need your participation.
You give $10, you think, well, will that really do anything? 70 meals can be provided through Second Harvest Heartland. So you give $10, 100% of that goes, and you've created 70 more meals for families in your area.
There's always more information at your fingertips. Check out tasteofthenfl.com. And that's your Game On update. The Guru's back with us before we get to the Fantasy Challenge brought to us by Malone's. You're a big hockey fan, more North Stars I find out than Wild.
Yeah, absolutely. Back in '91 when they went to the Cup, when I was in middle school, that was a good memory for me.
Nice. Dating me a little bit there. Well, let's get to the Fantasy Challenge. You have 77 people in, and it's competitive.
Yeah, it is. A few have separated themselves from the pack, leaning on guys like Marshawn Lynch, Arian Foster, who had big weeks. And there's a few that are going to build up with their points in the few weeks coming up.
Let's take a look at the leaderboard. It's led by Traffic Guy. There's Robbie out of Illinois. What's number 3?
Govey.
Govey with Walter Payton. Topps football card, he's the winner of.
Yep,
and you say that these guys are making solid, really credible picks.
Yeah, they are. I mean, there's a lot of guys who make their legacy in the playoffs, guys like Russell Wilson and whatnot. So
and Aaron Rodgers, we can't forget about that. Okay, when we look towards this week, it's starting to pare down a little bit. You got to get your picks in on Saturday for Sunday games. Yep. But by the time we get to the conference championship, it's going to really show itself.
Yeah, you'll get to the point where the final horses will be in the stretch run, so to speak. So it'll be good to look for.
Okay, we'll be keeping an eye. Updates always on the website.
Yes, absolutely.
And blogs.
Yes.
And the Guru is down a ways right now, but we'll update him later. Nice job.
Thank you.
Good work. Enjoy all the hockey talk here. It's the Guru, only here on Game On. Time now for the Mayak Minute, and it is a new year in the Mayak, and big changes ahead. St. John's has gone a different direction as retiring legend John Ghilardi moves aside, and Gary Fashing becomes the new head coach. He played at St. John's under Ghilardi and served as one of the assistant coaches for the past 17 years. Gary will assume his new role immediately, and it's the first new head football coach at the school in 60 years. And that's your Mayak Minute. Whew, busy show it's been. Don't forget, get to our website, GameOnTVMN.com for all the updates. And when you get out to the Wild game, come by the Liffey. This food is incredible. Great to have you with us. Have a great week and keep your game on.